A new poll out of Iowa shows Senator Tim Scott gaining momentum on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the 2024 presidential race, though former President Trump maintains a commanding lead. The survey, which was paid for by the Trump campaign and shared exclusively with The Hill, found 46% of likely GOP caucus participants in the Hawkeye state support the former president. It found 16% of those surveyed said they support DeSantis, who was running in second place. And it showed Scott polling in third place with 10% support. Scott entered the race the same week as DeSantis, and he is typically polled in single digits on the national level. A super PAC backing the senator announced this week it would spend $40 million on TV and digital ads in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina this fall to further boost Scott's White House bid. This latest poll comes about 6 months before the state's caucuses. Vivek Ramaswamy, the conservative entrepreneur, polled at 5%, followed by Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, and Chris Christie, all of whom polled at 3%. 10% of those surveyed said they were still undecided. The poll also found that more voters trusted Trump over DeSantis to protect Social Security and farmers, as well as to fight the woke mob by double-digit margins. DeSantis has made combating wokeism a key theme of his campaign. The poll was conducted by Coefficient, a firm with a B-plus pollster rating on 538. It surveyed 2,283 likely Republican Iowa caucus participants and was conducted from July 15th to 17th via mobile text responses and landline phone interviews. The poll has a margin of error of 2.6 percentage points. Polling out of Iowa, which will hold the first caucus on the GOP primary calendar on January 15, 2024, has consistently shown Trump leading to varying degrees. A poll conducted in early July by National Research for the conservative group American Greatness showed Trump at 44%, with DeSantis at 21%, and Scott at 7%. And a poll conducted from May 30th to June 1st, sponsored by the pro-DeSantis super PAC Never Back Down, put Trump at 39%, DeSantis at 29%, and Scott at 7%. An Emerson College poll conducted days before DeSantis officially entered the race found Trump with a 42-point lead over the Florida governor. DeSantis' campaign has endured scrutiny in the roughly 2 months since it launched, with numerous reports this week about plans for a reset as the governor sets his sights on early primary states like Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. So this goes on a little bit longer. I'm going to just try to make this as thorough as I can, or at least as understandable from the perspective of someone that's not really a fan of any of these people. The true winners of this poll are Trump, Scott, and Ramaswamy. And even though DeSantis is in second place and is doing better than everyone who's not Trump, the reason he's a loser of this poll is because going by these margins from May and before he entered the race, we're talking about him being 20 points behind Trump, in some cases, 15 points behind him, and now it's gotten to where he's 30 plus points and sometimes even lower than that behind Trump. So ever since getting in this race, he's just been a constant implosion of himself. And as much as I don't favor either Scott or Ramaswamy, I have to hand it to him. The money that Scott is shilling out to get his name around apparently is working if he's getting 10 points. And 10 points still may not seem like anything, especially compared to the 40 that Trump has. But when you remember that this is a guy who, when he got in, was at 3-4%, it is some sign of growth. But here's where he and Ramaswamy probably, and I know if I put Ramaswamy's name in the title, I'll have some of his supporters get mad, but I'm not here to blow smoke up anyone's butt. I try to tell the truth, and people can get mad if they want. It's just reality. For some reason, I don't know why, I truly don't, but for some reason, the Iowa caucus for Republicans, it's more hit or miss on the Democratic side, but the Iowa caucus for Republicans is like this death curse for a presidential campaign. So if you look at the last 4 cycles where there wasn't an incumbent president, 2008, 2012, 2016, you had Huckabee, Santorum, and Cruz win each of those respective caucuses just to end up losing the nomination to someone that they beat in that first primary state. And I truly believe anyone who actually wants to see Scott or Ramaswamy or any of the people that were lower down than that have a shot of winning this nomination should redirect their attention to winning other states like New Hampshire or South Carolina. I think Iowa is probably going to continue its trend of being the state where the person who wins it does not become the nominee. And that I'm going strictly by history. Trump has the potential, based off of his extremely high polling, to possibly win every single state. Um, Again, it's very early in the primary. We're not entirely sure what the results are going to be, how far, and these polls are quite a ways off, so there is time for people to catch up. But if anyone has the chance to break that cycle of the person who wins Iowa loses the nomination race, it would be him more than anyone else. So I just think if you back any of those other people, you should say forget Iowa. Maybe let them try to get your person to come in second, third, fourth place to do the whole momentum thing of, oh, he didn't win Iowa, but he only was 10 points behind the former president, or he was only 15 points behind the former president. But other than that, I think anyone who backs these other people should just pack up their bags and go to New Hampshire or South Carolina and let Iowa ravage either Trump or DeSantis. I don't think that state is worth anything in a Republican primary for president. And I don't enjoy saying that. It's just a historical trend that has been going on for quite some time. And there's really no other way to explain it. This is a good poll as far as it shows some progress for some of these people, but at the same time, I'm worried that they might put all their eggs in the basket of Iowa, and then if they win it, they lose the next state and drop out anyway.